Hello and welcome to a beautiful sunny winter's day here in Lymington. My name's Daniel, I'm the sales manager for Jeanneau Powerboats here at BHG Marine. Today I'm going to be showing you around this brand new 2024 Jeanneau Cap Camarat 10.5 walk around Series 2. I'm going to show you why this is one of my favourite boats in the Jeanneau Powerboat range. We'll start the walkthrough by showing you around the outside of the boat. She's a Michael Peters designed hull. As you can see, a nice sharp deep V entry, good deep spray rails on the chines there as well. High sided, so results in a very comfortable ride in the chop and a very dry ride on board as well. Long hull windows. She's a very pretty looking boat from the outside, very well designed with these new style graphics as well. You can see there we've got the bow thruster. A great selling point of this boat is the drop down side terrace. This particular boat also has the optional stanchions and the bathing ladder fitted to her side terrace as well. This can easily be lifted and dropped by hand, just by one person, quite easy to do with a rope pulley. Stainless steel rubbing strake running the entire length of the hull. Also now extends right out to the bathing platforms as well. The bathing platforms are a great addition on this boat at deck level, so there's no step up or step down. Very wide and very deep platforms make them very easy to get on and off of the boat. There's also a handle there as well to aid you getting in and out of the boat from the bathing ladder. Coming into the boat, everything's all on one level. There's no step to come into the deck. You can see here we've got the ski pole, which is an optional extra fitted to this boat. No engines fitted just yet, but the boat will take twin Yamaha outboard engines. This particular boat can be optioned with twin Yamaha 300s or twin Yamaha 425s, both electric steer versions. Just pointing out here the cockpit shower, which is fed with hot and cold water. We've also got the gate here on the back, just helps keep children and dogs on board the boat when you're underway. We've got the optional drop-down cockpit seating on this boat as well, fitted on both port and starboard side. They can easily be folded away to give easier access in and out of the boat. But once you're out and about, fold the seats out and you get a great U-shaped seating area all the way across the back. Cup holders mounted all the way around as well, both in the table and either side of the rear seat. There's just showing the side seat folding away. This table is the optional telescopic version, which can convert into a sunbed. Simply undo these two clamps here and the table will drop down. There's also a cushion that goes on top to completely infill that aft cockpit area into a sun deck. Stainless steel cleats on the 10.5 rather than the anodized aluminium versions on the smaller models. And here just showing the drop down side terrace with the optional stanchions and bathing ladder. We can of course fit the Evo decking, synthetic teak decking to the cockpit and drop down side terrace as an additional optional extra. Here we are showing the external cockpit galley. This particular version is configured with a sink in the middle, hot and cold running water, and the gas hob over to the left hand side. Underneath we have the pull-out drawers, 3 of which useful for storing general items. We have cup holders, and then on the right hand side here we just have a space useful for preparing food. Underneath we have a storage locker. This can be configured as a live bait well, but on this particular boat we have it as a storage locker. And then here we have the outside stainless steel fridge. This runs on 12 volts, so it will work while you're out and about. All the fittings are stainless steel, including the gas rams, and we have a lovely stainless steel splashback here on the cockpit galley as well. T-top is supported by these very attractive stainless steel supports. We have the cockpit closing kit fitted to this particular boat as well. At the moment you can see that we have the back section rolled up to give me easy access into the galley, and also the side section here as well. Up at the helm you can see we have a large wide console, perfect for lots of electronics. We've got this one configured with a single Garmin 12-inch GPS chart plotter and a Garmin VHF radio. There is space for a second Garmin 12-inch plotter as well should you want to. That's easy for us to retrofit. Chart plotter comes with fish finder, GPS charts, active captain, Yamaha engine interface and autopilot built in as well. There is a Fusion stereo system on board the boat. Again, that's interlinked to the Garmin GPS chart plotter, so it can all be controlled from the one display. We have a cubby hole here with USB charger and 12-volt charger inside. Cup holders up at the console, and a small stainless steel support there to stop your items rolling off the console. Switch panel along with a windlass switch to raise and lower the anchor from the helm, and we have our zip weight control panel here as well. The Yamaha engine interface, stop-start buttons and the Yamaha touchscreen. We've also got the Yamaha autopilot system fitted to this boat as well. That interfaces with the Garmin system and the electric Yamaha steering. Bow thruster control mounted up here on the console, and the Yamaha electric helm, which is also adjustable. The electric steering is super light. You can steer the boat literally with one finger, and this can be completely configured so you can make the steering heavier, lighter, and also quicker and slower depending on your preferences. The zip wake system here just showing you that again, which is your automatic trim tab system, which will automatically level the boat. And the new style Yamaha control box, which has the built-in cruise control, a very simple plus and minus there to increase and decrease your speed without having to adjust the throttles. You can also drive both engines on a single throttle lever with this new control box. We have 3 helm seats, each with individual armrests and lower bolsters which can be raised or lowered to suit your preferences. A really nice upgrade over the Cap Camarat 9, which has 2 helm seats, so with 3 you can get more of the family up front along when you're cruising. And just a shot here showing the T-top with the glass sliding roof. Some soft fabrics up on the roof as well. These are waterproof, backlit to give you a premium feel. I've just switched on here the cockpit lighting, which gives you some ambient indirect lighting here in the cockpit underneath the seats. There's also some blue deck lighting hidden away as well. This just gives you a beautiful effect at night. It lights the boat up without having any bright lights actually in your face. There are also spotlights up underneath the T-top, as well as these very bright LED worker lights mounted at the back, which will really brightly light up the rear cockpit when you're fishing at night. Moving forwards, this section here is lit as well. The windscreen is glass, not perspex. And the T-top closing kit again is a tough sort of semi-flexible plastic rather than the usual roll-up plastic. It means it's much more rigid and it's clear to look through, so you don't have that rippled effect of the rolled up plastic that you would normally have. You can see here that it's much easier to look through than your typical canopy closing kits that you would usually see. And again, we've got those stainless steel T-top supports going forwards as well, which look much nicer than the black powder coated supports. Here just showing more of the indirect lighting on this boat, which looks fantastic at night time. Moving up onto the bow, we have the really well configured bow sun deck arrangement. So you can see here we have a huge sun deck with raised backrests, cup holders and handrails as well, so you could sit up here if you're moving at slow speeds in a harbour or river, for example. The boat has these really thick cushions that give it a real premium feel, with raised bolsters all around the edges as well as piping. It just makes the boat look that much nicer, but it's also much more comfortable to lie on. You don't sink through and feel the fiberglass underneath when you're lying or sitting on these seats. You can see we've got these nice accented piping on these cushions as well. Here we're just lifting out that centre cushion to show you the forward hatch into the forward cabin area. And another shot of that T-top with the LED headlights. We've got very high stanchion rails all around the bow. Those stainless steel cleats and stainless steel LED navigation lights mounted here on the bow. We've also got fair leads and rope wear protectors there as well on the bow. A nice long anchor roller for the windlass. The anchor will stow in that roller when fitted, and here we have the anchor windlass and a corded remote control. Again, a stainless steel gas strut on this locker, fully lined, so smooth gel coat on the inside of all of the lockers, no rough fiberglass or gel wash. GRP protector here as well, just to protect the fiberglass from the chain. And a nice deep locker, plenty of space for lots and lots of rope and chain in your chain locker. Nice high stanchion rails all around the bow, coming right up to my waist here, as you can see. Bow certainly feels a very safe place to stand. You wouldn't worry about having your children up here at anchor enjoying the sunbed. Nice walkway on the starboard side, but of course we've got that much wider walkway here on the port side as shown. A large windscreen wiper which covers a good portion of the windscreen. Central driving position on this boat, so you don't have that blind spot that you would normally have when you're driving most boats where you're right over on the starboard side. You can see here we've got large roof rails, useful for storing stand-up paddleboards, a small dinghy as well. As we now step down inside the cabin, we've got this Perspex sliding door with a nice stainless steel handle. Still provides lots of light into the boat when you need it. Can be locked here as well. And we have this securing piece here which stops the door from sliding across in rough waters. Light switches as we come down into the boat, two switches, one for the overhead lights and one for the ambient LED lights. And a leather clad stainless steel handle to help you down. In this locker we have our battery switches. You also have space should you want to add additional optional extras such as air conditioning and generators. You've got plenty of room for control panels to be mounted in this locker. As we step down, you can see the spacious forward V seating area. This can be converted into a bed and the galley. We see the stereo system there and the nice looking steps with anti-slip pads on those as well. All of these steps are lit with ambient indirect LED lighting. Seems to be a bit of a theme on the boat, but it really gives it a nice premium feel. And as I said, here we have the Fusion stereo with USB input. And then conveniently mounted here at a nice height is the inside fridge. Again, this is 12 volts with an ice box in the top as well. A well-appointed galley inside the boat, as well as the galley we have outside in the cockpit. So we have a twin burner gas stove with glass top. We have a sink with hot and cold running water. A nice window to bring light into the cabin. Storage space just here. And we have our minibar here as well. Again, this is lit with indirect LED lights, space for some bottles and some nice glasses. We have a Corian worktop, giving it a real premium feel. A pull-out bin, and our gas valves here as well. There is also a socket in this locker should you want to add a microwave into the adjacent locker. This would be where you would mount the microwave should you want to add one. Otherwise it can just be used as a storage space. Pull-out drawer. And two further pull-out drawers here as well. We can supply carpets for this area as well. Again, that's an optional extra. We can do those and supply them in your choice of colour. The forward seating area, this table is telescopic, so this table can drop down to convert this area into a wide and long double bed. Just using these two handles here. This boat does have the optional fabric upgrade as well, which is this really nice neutral looking fabric material rather than the white PVC, which is fitted as standard. You see here lots of LED ambient indirect lighting as well as the LED spotlights, and we have this wide porthole here just up into the forward cockpit area. We have the roof hatch here, fitted with a mosquito screen and also a blackout blind. Every window on the boat can be covered with a curtain or a blind, so perfectly suited for sleeping on board. We have these soft fabric panels on the headlining with lights and light switches for each of the lights here as well. Over the starboard side we have this small locker here which is hidden away and most people miss. This actually contains a curtain should you want to sleep in the forward area with other people sleeping in the rear cabin. Pull this curtain across and that will give you a little bit of privacy between the forward cabin area and the galley and heads compartment area in the boat. The curtain just slides back into that cabin. And the door just shuts away. Curtain just slides across this track here and attaches on the port side. We have here a small hanging locker, useful if you are sleeping in that forward compartment area, but just useful for storing general wet weather gear as well. Moving rearwards, this boat is configured with the optional aft closed cabin. The boat can be configured to be open plan, so this wooden bulkhead wouldn't exist and the steps would be floating steps down into the boat. I do think the closed aft cabin option is the most desirable option, and certainly that's proved the case with customers as well. So we have this door and that just seals that rear cabin off from the rest of the boat, giving you a bit more privacy. In the rear cabin we have this really good sized double bed. It's full beam, so it's a really good sized cabin here. We can see we've got, again, lots of ambient indirect LED lighting, as well as various spotlights around the boat and direct reading spotlights as well, all of which can be switched on and off individually. This section here can lift out should you want a little bit more standing space. We've also got lots of storage lockers on the port and starboard side. Hatch here just letting lots of light into the boat. And a good sized mirror all the way across the back. Behind that mirror is access to some further services on the boat as well. So we've got a good sized locker here with a hanging rail. This next locker is the hot water cylinder, the calorifier. Hot water on the boat is heated by shore power only. It's 25 litres, so you've got a good amount of hot water on board the boat when you leave the marina. And this locker here is really your electrical service locker, so we've got your shore power circuit breakers and all your 12-volt fuses here as well, and the fuse box layout diagram on the back of the door, so very easy to get to should you have any electrical problems. Moving over to the starboard side, we've got some shelves. And we've got a good sized pull-out drawer here as well. And just more storage space here going further aft. A nice window with a curtain. You've got a mains power socket here as well. And a hatch here on starboard side. It's getting a bit dark outside, but that would normally flood the aft cabin with light. These two cushions here are the forward berth conversion cushions, and the two cushions below are the cushions for the aft sunbed conversion in the aft cockpit. So just wanted to quickly show you underneath the bed there is further storage space as well as access to some other services. So here we have the screen wash tank. Nice and easy to get to. The cushions just lift up and these are all on hinges, and again a bit more storage and access to some of the wiring here as well. So quite easy to get to compared to some boats where you have to dismantle things. Moving into the heads compartment. We've got a really well configured heads on this boat. We've got a really nice Corian worktop here with a floating bowl sink, hot and cold water on a mixer tap, mains power point, and your light switches for the spotlights and the LED ambient lighting. A nice mirror with some storage space behind, and your towel holder. You also have here a separate compartment for the sea toilet and shower. This is actually an optional screen, so the boat would be open plan here as standard. Here we have the shower mixer, the handset which clips up here, the hatch which gives you access into the back of the console, and the shower door screen here. We've got a pump out facility on the floor which will pump out your shower water into the grey water tank, and here we have the electric toilet controls. So this particular boat is configured with the electric freshwater toilet option with the holding tank gauge and the freshwater gauge just here as well. No seacocks because we've got the freshwater toilet. It's a much nicer option. You don't get that saltwater smell that you get otherwise. Coming back into the main companionway, underneath the floor, you can see here the holding tank. Very easy to access, just one locker to lift up. I mean, access here to all of the pumps is so easy. We've got our shower pump out here. We've got a macerator for the holding tank evacuation just here, and the seacock mounted right next to it. So for access and maintenance and emptying that tank, really, really easy. So as we just head back out into the cockpit, just giving you another overview of the really well configured helm. Just to give you an idea of some of the performance figures, the boat can be configured with two Yamaha 300s. That will give you a cruising speed of around about 21 knots at 4,000 RPM and a top speed of around about 37 knots. The boat can be configured with the Yamaha 4.5 XTO engines. That really transforms the boat into a proper performance boat, giving you a cruising speed of 28 knots at 4,000 RPM and a top speed of around about 47 knots. So it really becomes a very fast boat. Just giving you another overview of the T-top closing kit here. Again, these sides can be either rolled up or they can be removed completely depending on the weather and how you're going to be using the boat. And just another overview here of the folding seat on the starboard side. Under the table, we've got this large cockpit deck locker. We just need to move that seat out of the way first. This will move back even with the table still in situ, so you don't have to dismantle anything. You've got this enormous locker here, very easy access to the fuel tanks which are located either side of the locker, and then a ladder just going down into the locker itself. Lots and lots of space to store dinghy, stand-up paddleboards, inflatable paddleboards, maybe a torpedo outboard motor for the dinghy, wakeboard, water skis, fishing equipment. There's just so much room down here. As you can see, I can actually get into the locker and stand up. Easy access here into the fuel tank compartment. Here we can see the 400 litre fuel tanks, one on each side, mounted there with the fuel filter and water separator. So very easy access. A ladder here to help you get out of the locker, and access into the top of the tank for the wiring for fuel senders and things. So everything is very easy to get to. Stainless steel gas strut on this locker, so no need to hold it up or fiddle around with pieces of string. This locker is also lockable, so if you do have anything of any value in here, your dinghy, your outboard motor, you can lock that away without worry about it being stolen. And just another overview of the 10.5 WA. I hope you enjoyed the walk around tour. Thank you very much for watching.